How to develop your psychic powers. Level 1. Awakening to see the world differently. Having psychic abilities means having faculties that are inexplicable by known scientific laws, especially involving telepathy or clairvoyance. But actually, nearly everybody has had some type of psychic experience, even if insignificant. That is because such abilities are inherent in humanity, but most of us in this modern materialistic age have lost touch with it. Yet, with the right attitude, it can be rekindled. But we shouldn't run before we can walk. To make sustainable progress, we must forget where we want to end up and focus on where we are. Now be prepared to completely reboot the way you look at the world. You will need to step away from your inner Vulcan of logic and material science and embrace the world of thoughts and feelings. Be an empath. The scientific analysis of an object is no great advantage for this. Most people operate purely within the world as presented to us by our traditional 5 physical senses, but you need to live outside of those senses. Turn the tables on reality. So let's try some exercise to help start the psychic engine, which you can practice over long periods of time. Start from the present moment and trace back the events of your day. Remembering events in a forward sequence is easy enough, but working backwards is different. So don't push yourself too hard. You'll probably only manage 5 to 10 second bursts at first, but that's okay for a beginning. Another exercise, now choose a day-to-day simple object, say a car. Think of the things you can about the car and things directly associated with it. That is stage 1 of this exercise. Now move to the second stage. Think about cars in general, cars that you like and don't like. Big cars, small cars, old cars, the history of cars, all thoughts about cars. The third stage takes you away from cars themselves into thinking about what cars do. Transporting one from A to B, other associations, seeing new places, having freedom, the cost of running one, environmental damage, noise, and so on. Finally, the fourth stage, the most abstract principle of a car. What qualities do cars have in the broadest, most cosmic, universal way? So if cars are mainly about movement, let your thoughts go towards movement in the broadest possible sense. For example, we could think of the wind, the movement of shapes and colours along the pavement as you drive down the street. Think of the moving through interstellar space. Even think of things that don't move, such as stones, rocks and mountains. How do they compare with things that do move? Experiment. How about if your chosen object was not a car, but a cup of tea? Decide which places you like and which places you don't like. Scan your mind on an imaginary walk of your local area. It's a subtle thing, and don't look for reasons why you like one place and not for another. Don't go for the obvious or superficial. You never know, there might be something you like about the local ring road. Next time you go out anywhere, sit quietly and observe the place around you. Imagine you're writing a descriptive novel. In one paragraph, how would you describe the atmosphere of the place you are in a creative way? The world around us is made of 3 distinct categories: that made by God or nature, and that made by man. The other category is what is made by man for God. Have a look around. How much around you in any one place is made by man, and how much is natural, and what is in between? Obviously, if you live in a modern city, the predominant proportion is made by man, but psychic abilities, which are natural, are better triggered by rural environments. What is wrong with city environments, and what is superior about the countryside? Know this: everything we can perceive with our 5 traditional senses is a combination of the 4 elements: earth, water, fire and air, or solids, liquids, fires and gases. Each element has its own qualities. Fire is in everything that is warm, all that shines and sparkles. It is magical. It can live anywhere, like in wood. Air carries the most psychic sense. Sound. Get to know the feel of air. Watch the effect of wind on the trees. Watch the pattern of rising smoke. Water is emotional, deep and powerful, always on the move. Water has its own unique and beautiful sound. Now, Earth is the most physical. Earth is a companion of all things that are very, very old, that do not change. Minerals, rocks and mountains. Things made of earth are more likely to store whatever feelings that are projected onto them. Try this on a day out sightseeing perhaps. Place your hand on an old stone wall, for example one made by the Romans. Close your eyes for a while, breathe slow and deep, and use your imagination. Let the stone take you back in time. Let it tell you stories. What was going on when this wall was new? What do you imagine was going on around you 2,000 years ago at that location? How did the people look? How did they feel? And sound? Finally, for this level 1 video, observe and think of activities and professions that are dominated by one of the elements. People who work with fire, air, earth, and water. What kind of people are they? Do they enjoy that element? These exercises help you to make the world around you seem more alive, bring you closer to it, not in a mundane physical way, but in a subtle way. Seeing objects as sources of meaning. Awaken your sixth sense that thinks and analyzes the world around it, yet is not part of it. Thanks for watching. The next level to this psychic training series, called Level 2, Visualizations and the Inner World, will be available in due course. Thank you for watching.